Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, February the 9th, 2023. And today we're going to be covering this particular article. It is about basically exactly what you see on the headline of this particular article. This is from cbnnews.com. And it says the LGBTQ members of Arizona School Board ban Christian student teachers due to their biblical beliefs. So this made me think of two particular words that I wanted to talk about this morning. So today, kids, we're going to learn about two words: tolerance and inclusion. Can you kids say tolerance and inclusion? That's what we're going to be talking about right now in this particular article. Donkey Bible Club, good morning, good morning. Let's go ahead and give him a horn because he is a member of the channel. Good morning, grace and peace. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get right into this article. It says an Arizona public school board recently voted to end its partnership with Arizona Christian University, ACU, which had supplied student teachers to the district for the past 11 years. Grace and peace, Dapper Douglas. The reason? The student teachers' Christian faith was deemed to be a threat to LGBTQ students. The Washington Elementary School District has 32 schools located in and around Phoenix and Glendale. The contract renewal with the ACU was a routine item put on the district's February 23rd consent agenda with a recommendation from the administration that it be renewed, according to AZ Central. But when it came time to discuss the ACU contract, 3 of the school board's 5 members who identify as members of the LGBTQ community called for the contract not to be renewed. They argued that having students with biblical values in the state's largest and one of the best elementary school districts will pose too much of a threat to LGBT students, according to the Christian Post. So, tolerance and inclusion from the people who claim that they are the champions for tolerance and inclusion. All right. Donkey Bible Club says, all right, I'll bring an apple to class. Professor Alton in the house. Board member Tamilia Valenzuela, who wore cat ears on her head during the meeting, spoke out against the university for its Christian beliefs. First reported by Fox News. I'm going to see if I can pull that picture up. Listen, anybody wearing cat ears, this lady, anybody wearing cat ears to a school board meeting with a bull nose ring and colored hair, you already know that it's going to go left. You already know that. Anyway, let's go back to the article. But I just wanted to show you guys who we're talking about here, who has those cat ears. Quote, at some point we need to get real with ourselves and who take a look who we are making legal contracts with and the message that it's sending to our community, because that makes me feel like I could not be safe in this school district. Valenzuela, who identifies as a bilingual, quote, bilingual, disabled, neurodivergent, queer, black, Latina, told her fellow members, quote, that makes queer kids who are already facing attack from our lawmakers feel that they could not be safe in this community. She was checking off all of the boxes of intersectionality. She got bilingual, disabled, neurodivergent, queer, black, and Latina. Man, just going down the line. I mean, with all of that intersectionality going on, and for people who don't understand, when they hear the term intersectionality, basically, the more of these intersects that you have, more of these things that you can identify as, means that you are a part of this minority group. So you need to have more of these protections since you're able to check off a lot of these boxes, right? So I guess if you're bilingual, that puts you in this category of, um, I don't know. I guess as being a special type of person, being disabled, you can't discriminate against disabled people. So she checks the box there. Neurodivergent. I have to look into that. I have to see what a neurodivergent is. Queer. Oh, you can't speak against queer people. Black. You know, don't talk about black people. And Latina. Can't talk about Latina people either, or Latino people. So the more boxes you check off, the more of an oppressed person you are. So, and the more rights you should have. I should throw that out there. That's what this whole intersectionality thing is about. Quote, part of their values is to transform the culture with truth by promoting biblically informed values that are foundational to Western civilization, including the centrality of family, traditional sexual morality, and lifelong marriage between one man and one woman. Now, hold on. Isn't that's a bad thing? Is she trying to say that those values are bad? Now, they like to throw Western civilization in there because everything that's Western by the white man, that's bad already. But centrality of family, traditional sexual morality, and lifelong marriage between one man and one woman, that's supposed to be a bad thing? I, man, listen. Just prepare yourselves, people. Just prepare yourselves. Valenzuela noted the current teacher shortage, but also, she said, had concerns over how ACU was, quote, committed to Jesus Christ. Let's get a horn for that. Accomplishing his will and advancements on earth as it is in heaven. Let's go ahead and give another horn for that. But to her, those are bad things. Those are bad things. And remember, she's a champion of tolerance and inclusion. Quote, I want to know how bringing teachers from an institution that is ingrained in their values so directly brings impact to 3 of your board members who are a part of the LGBTQ community, Valenzuela continued. The board member Kyle Clayton also chimed in against the Christian college for, quote, teaching with a biblical lens. Let's go ahead and give the ACU another horn. Because these are bad things according to them. These are things that should not be in the school. I want y'all to listen to their arguments. You know, I'll probably say maybe about 5-10 years ago, they would kind of hide their intolerance. They would kind of hide their bigotry under the guise of, well, there's been a lot of things done wrong in the name of Christianity. And then they would use those stereotypes to try to broad brush everyone who's a Christian to say that, well, maybe, we shouldn't have Christians in certain spaces. But no, they're coming out and saying that the stuff that you guys champion, all of the stuff that we agree with, these ain't things that we agree with. I mean, that we disagree with. The centrality of the family, the Bible, biblical teachings, Christ Jesus, knowing that whatever's going to be done on earth, or we should basically portray ourselves on earth as we would do in heaven, right? Following Christ, core biblical values, those are bad things. And she's letting it all hang out. Well, not just her, but these other board members are letting it all hang out to say that this is giving us a reason to discriminate against the ACU, which is the Arizona Christian University. We want to ban them from entering the public school board in order to teach kids. We don't want them in a public school board. So they're banning them. It's not like they're just saying, well, we recommend that they do not teach in public schools. No, they said they're banning them. Basically, if you are going to the Arizona Christian University to become a teacher, you're not going to get a job in the public school sector because they're banning you. That's what this is about. Let's continue. Quote, I too echo what Miss Valenzuela said when I looked into not only their core values, but the statement of faith, which they ask their students to sign and live by, Clayton said. Quote, proselytizing is embedded into how they teach, and I just don't believe that belongs in schools today. Hold on. Isn't that what they do? Isn't that what these people are doing? Let's read that again. Proselytizing is embedded into how they teach, and I just don't believe that belongs in schools. Now, hold on. That is a major contradiction. Because, listen, when Pride Month comes around, isn't that not them proselytizing? Is that not them taking what they believe and inserting it into the schools? Trying to teach kids about all of this queer sexual stuff? I think in Texas, well, yeah, especially in Texas, they have had to ban, even in Florida, shout out to Ron DeSantis, they had to ban certain books from being in schools because they were so sexually explicit that they were just like, even not just the governors and the elected officials, but the parents. They said, well, we don't want these books in our children's school because they're so sexually explicit. And just because you slap queer or gay or bisexual or LGBTQ across the label, that doesn't make it okay for children to want to read and engage in. They were just like, we don't want these in our children's schools. And I'm pretty sure people like this, they wanted to push back saying that, no, these kids need to learn about their sexuality and all of this other stuff. Now, not everyone in the LGBTQ community, because I was watching a TikTok video the other day from this LGBTQ guy, and he was totally against it. He said that there's a lot of us out there who's totally against pushing our sexual beliefs to children. He said, now, if that's a decision that they want to make when they get older, then, hey, then hey, that's fine. But he said that he don't think that we should be grooming kids into that, into the LGBTQ lifestyle, because it's basically about sexuality. And some of these kids, they don't need to be taught how to perform sexual acts on each other at certain ages or before they reach a certain age, you know? But, you know, but before I went off on this little tangent, this particular school board says that they don't want the school, they don't want the ACU school, the Arizona Christian University, to teach in the public schools because they don't want the ACU putting their beliefs or expressing their beliefs to these children, but they want to be able to do it, right? Now, them being in the LGBTQ community, they want to be able to open up the doors for them to embed what they believe and put those ideologies onto the children. No problem with them doing it, but it's not okay for Christians to do the same thing. So that's why that's why they banned this school. All in the name of tolerance and inclusion. Board President Nikki Gomez Whaley agreed with Clayton, noting that the board has received several emails from members of the community asking the board to not renew the partnership with the ACU. She says she didn't believe Christian student teachers could separate their values from their professional duties, making them unable to treat students equally according to the CP. Hold on. But didn't this lady, we read earlier, the lady Valenzuela, I mean, didn't she rattle off all of these different intersects of, she's a disabled, queer, black, Latina woman, and we saw her with the cat ears and the green hair and the bull nose. I'm pretty sure she has no problem pushing her sexual identity. She has no problem doing that, but it's okay. But it's not okay for Christians to give their biblical beliefs and ideologies in the school. Quote, for me, this is not a concern about Christianity. Actually, it is. That's a lie. There are plenty of Christian denominations who are LGBTQ friendly. Not even going to touch on that. So I want to make it clear that for me, my pause is not that they're Christian. That's a lie. So much as this particular institution's strong LGBTQ stance and their strong belief that you believe you believe this to your core and you take it out into the world, Gomez Whaley said. Quote, simply, I don't know a piece of paper can change somebody's underlying value system, even though they may not do anything illegal where they are preaching or using Bible verses. How do you shut off an essential part of your being and not be biased to the individuals you are in charge of nurturing and supporting unconditionally? The board president asked. I don't see how that disconnect is possible. Again, another contradiction, because she's saying that, well, although they're not doing anything illegal, they're just basically, they have these beliefs and they have these core values. So basically banning them, it's not really going to change their mindset, but we just need to keep these people separate from our children because they have certain beliefs that we disagree with. And I don't know how we can have Christians to be in our schools and to be teaching without imposing their personal beliefs on the children. But at the same time, they want to be able to do it. They want to be able to impose their personal beliefs on the children. It's okay when they do it, but it's not okay when Christians do it, because this is all in the name of tolerance and inclusion. It was noted in the school board meeting that all student teachers had to sign legal agreements that prevent them from discriminating against any student according to the CP. In an emailed statement to CBN News, ACU President Lynn Musso said, quote, "For years, Arizona Christian University has partnered with the Washington Elementary School District. More than 100 ACU students have served the district, including 25 student teachers, many of whom were hired full-time after graduation," Musso said. Quote, "Administrators have time and again asked us to send more ACU students because of all of the quality of our students' work and their love and servants' hearts for all." Let me read that again just in case you didn't catch that. Administrators have time and again asked us to send more ACU students. Why? Because of the quality of our students' work and their love and servants' hearts for all. So, administrators of schools have been saying, please send us more of these ACU students, which stands for Arizona Christian University. So send us more of these students because they're doing such a great job. They're doing such a great job. Listen, Robin, I gotta wake y'all up. I gotta wake y'all up. It's time to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Time to get woke. Time to get woke, my sister. Quote, "The school board recent decision to ban ACU students from serving as student teachers was done for one reason only: our university's commitment to our Christian convictions," he continued. "That's wrong and it's unlawful and will only hurt the district's students. Religious liberty and freedom of conscience are the bedrock American principles. We are exploring our options to defend the rights of our students," the ACU president concluded. In an email statement to CBN News, WESD Governing Board Nikki Gomez Whaley, on behalf of the board, said, quote, "The Washington Elementary School District, WESD Governing Board, is committed to creating a welcoming environment for all of our students, family, and staff. While we recognize the right of individuals to practice their faith, public schools are secular institutions. To that end, the board unanimously voted to discontinue its partnership with Arizona Christian University, whose policies do not align with our commitment to create a safe place for our LGBTQ students, staff, and community." So they're only focused on, excuse me, the LGBTQ students, staff, and community, all in the name of tolerance and inclusion. I'm going to keep bringing that out because I want y'all to understand what's going on here. Quote, "This is not a rejection of any particular faith." That's a lie. I need to I need to get the I need to get the sound, the stop the cap sound effect. Let me read that again. Quote, "This is not a rejection of any particular faith, as we remain open to partnering with faith-based organizations that share our commitment to equity and inclusion," Gomez said. Equity and inclusion. "This is discrimination." In an op-ed published by AZ Central, Lori Roberts, a columnist for the Arizona Republic, wrote, "In other words, it's okay to discriminate against an entire class of people in this case. The students at Arizona Christian University, because you think one or more of them might display a bias against against an LGBTQ student, end quote. Some teachers told Roberts a successful program tailored for children with behavioral issues has also been shut down by the school board because it was operated by a faith-based group. The columnist also reported the same teachers expected the school board next to target student teachers from Grand Canyon University, another private Christian school. Wow. So they so the faith-based group of teachers, they tailor a successful program for children with behavioral issues. They had kids with behavioral issues. They came out with a program, a successful program, a program that was working. They say, nope, let's shut it down because it's ran by people of a faith-based group. So let's let these kids run amok because we don't want these Christian people coming up with some type of a program to curb that bad behavior, that bad behavior. We don't want them to be the people that's actually being the solution to a problem because they're Christians. We'd rather go ahead and shut down what they're doing, which is successful, and let the kids run amok because we don't want Christian people in this particular context to A, get the credit, and B, be able to proselytize what they believe to these children. Because it's all in the name of tolerance and inclusion. Robin says, did y'all hear about a student being suspended for a year reading his Bible at a school library time? Yeah, I think I covered that. Man, I think I covered that about a while back. I think I got a video on that, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so let's continue. Quote, there was no basis for it, Lisa Hayes, who has taught in the district for 11 years, told Roberts. Quote, nothing has happened that should have initiated this, except for their school board members' hypothetical ideas. This is discrimination, and it's disappointing and disheartening in such a diverse school district that has always celebrated its diversity. End quote. Quote, the WESD school board has no proof that a student teacher or teacher from Arizona Christian University or Grand Canyon University has ever violated district policy, state or federal policy regarding separation of church and state, Julie Stark, who has taught in the district for 27 years, told Roberts. Quote, this is discrimination against all employees of faith, especially those who are Christian. And that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. It's discrimination at the highest degree. Quote, certainly against those who attend a certain college, Roberts wrote. Flip it around and see how it sounds, she continued. Quote, would it be okay for another district to enact a policy against hiring an entire class of people, say teachers, who are LGBTQ, out of some fear that one or more of them might make a student uncomfortable? Roberts asked. Quote, I'm going to assume here that I don't really need to answer that question. Discrimination is ugly, no matter who is doing it. And that is the end of this article. Like I said before, man, they are getting bold. This is why when we talk about Christians being prepared for persecution that is coming. Now, I know a lot of people will look at this and say, well, this is just something small. You know, maybe us as Christians, we just need to band together and start supporting Christian based schools, get out of the public school sector, just let the secularists do what they do. And maybe we'll just create our own Christian based school, um, Christian based schools, and be able to have kids come in and learn that way. Parents who may be comfortable with sending their kids to a Christian school, we'll just go ahead and create that so that could be an alternative to the secular schools who are pushing these radical ideas and ideologies. But the problem with that is that it sounds good. Sounds good, sounds feasible. But one of the things that you got to think about is that these secular institutions, they are in charge of what school is accredited and what isn't. So you can come up with whatever school that you want, but if the school board says, well, we're not going to recognize those institutions as legitimate schools, and we're not going to accreditate them or have them as accredited institutions for education, then you can send your kids there all their lives, but they won't be able to graduate. Their school won't be recognized as an accredited school because the secular members are the ones who control that. And then at the same time, as Christians, we are called to go out into the world and to minister, to spread the message of Christ, especially where it's needed most. In these public schools, yes, it's needed the most. Now, I know some people disagree with that. Some people say, I've heard some other Christians say, we don't need to partake in any of these secular institutions. They say, keep your kids away from the secular public school system. In some cases, I do agree. My kids are homeschooled. A lot of people, they'll say Christians should not be teaching in secular schools at all, which in a way I disagree. I feel like that if there is an avenue for us to be able to spread the gospel and to be effective at the same time, then I believe that if a Christian is called to do so, he or she should pursue that. Just like what we read earlier, that there was a behavioral program that was spearheaded by these Christian teachers from this Christian university, and they came out with this program, and it was working. And they shut it down because these people are Christians. Just because they're Christians. In the name of tolerance and inclusion. But anyway, guys, as I get ready to get up out of here, you guys go ahead and hit that like button and then hit that notifications bell so, you guys can always be up to date with what's going on, especially on my channel. Whenever I drop a video and stuff like that, y'all know the spiel. But man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do you think that these Christian teachers, student teachers who are coming from, let's just say in the whole state of Arizona, let's just say that this particular school board, they have a right to do whatever they want to do. This is up under the guise of secular politics. Secular institutions run this, and they should have a right to ban whoever they want, even Christians. And Christians right now shouldn't be complaining. If Christians really want to be able to teach, they should come up with their own institutions and focus on their own institutions instead of trying to place themselves in these secular institutions, especially the school board. They should just stay away. Or do you guys happen to believe that? No, if we're being led by Christ to spread the good news, then the secular school board is not exempt from that. And we have to continue to keep fighting. We have to keep continuing to fight to spread the gospel, to get the gospel out there, because that's what we're commanded to do. But anyway, whatever you guys think, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, like this video, rate it, share it, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. So whenever I do get ready to go live, you guys will be the first ones here. And you guys will be the first ones to see my videos as soon as I drop them. And with that, you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you guys next time, Lord willing.